here we are, day 2, stay, and we actually have a double here. In this first set, we have a little gray fox. This was a dirt hole. And then let's go over here. This was a T-bone. This is a big old fat coon. So not the double we wanted. We wanted a couple of coyotes here, but coon and a fox. Two critters, 2 traps. I'm going to check out the fox, and if he's not injured, does not look like he's injured, I'm going to let him go. Just I'm trying to help out the fox population. So, all right, we'll get these taken care of and move on down the road. Yeah, I know it's dark here and can't totally see everything, but there's my dirt hole. You can see something really just dug the tar out of it. There's the second dirt hole. They didn't mess with that. Funny that you say that, because I didn't have anything in it, but I had sheep's wool and bait and lure in this one. You can see they dug out that rock right there. They dug all this other stuff out. They stepped right there. They stepped right there. They stepped right there. They stepped right there. You can tell by the small size of the tracks. Right there is my part of my jaw where they just, I mean, they stepped all around everything. This is going to be a fox. This is going to be a gray fox. They're notorious for this. They just mess with sets. They dig around. Just whatever. So you can even see there, they moved the trap, it looks like, where they were digging. They just didn't get caught. I don't have any idea how they didn't get caught, but gray foxes are a magician at this. So we'll fix this real quick, and then we'll head on down the road. Super slow day on the trap line. I ended up with 1 coon, 1 gray fox, 2 sets messed with, and nothing else at all touching anything. But I'm finishing up. I gotta go to work now. The sun is just coming up. Still a good 2 hours plus in the side-by-side with the trapping dog Athena. Saw a bunch of rabbits, saw some deer, saw a skunk waddling through a field. Thank goodness I didn't catch him. So still a pretty good day overall, even though things have been really slow. It was warm last night. It was only like 45 degrees this morning when I came out. So it needs to get a little bit colder and get these animals start moving around a little bit. So 2 days down, not a single coyote yet. I don't know why. Sometimes that just happens. Sometimes it takes a couple days. Usually though, I can catch at least 1 or 2 in that first couple days, but things have been slow, so we'll just keep chugging along. Okay, here's the part that I think is hard for anybody. I mean, I've been trapping a big part of my life, and I still have problems with some of this, and that is exactly where do you put your traps in, as far as, you know, not even just a macro location, but a micro location. And let me give you some idea what I'm talking about. So right up here, right straight up there, you can see the creek that's running down through here. It's not running very much, but there's the main part of the creek right there. And if you just go straight that way, there's a drainage. It just keeps on going, right? And then there's a little bit of a 2-track. You can see the old 2-track that is right here, crosses the dry part of the stream right here, and it kind of just winds around and winds up along the stream. So we got this drainage. Up there you got nothing but cedars and gunk. There's a little bit of a point right here that comes down, and you can see there's like all kinds of rocks and little ledges and stuff like that. And then over here, right straight up that way, is another drainage. You can kind of tell where the creek is. Sorry, the sun's in the way, but the creek is right over there, and here's the other creek. And they all come together right here. Right here at this point is where the two creeks come together. So I got drainage, drainage, big hill up that way, big hill up that way past the sun, right? So now it's like, okay, so I got a 2-track. I've even got cattle paths, if you can see, right here, crossing the creek. See the trails right over there on the other side where the cows are crossing right here. And they're going right like that. And then they're kind of winding back around. So I got a lot of things that are coming together here. I got drainage, drainage, cattle trails, 2-track, right? But it's still a fairly sizable little area. Do I put traps on this side? Do I put traps on this side? Do I put traps along the road? That's the hard part with like trapping in the Ozarks or trapping in some places in eastern US. I'm assuming West Virginia and Kentucky and Tennessee and places like that are very similar. You've got so many travel ways. You've got so many different places. It's not like trapping in, you know, cropland of northern Missouri where you got these big expanses of crops which are no man's lands, and you basically are just trapping on all the edges and the levees and everything like that. You know pretty much exactly how those cows are going to go. Here, well, do they come this way? Do they come up this drainage? If so, what side of the drainage? Are they using this old 2-track? Are they using this cattle path? Are they coming down that side of the drainage? Are they coming down in between these two drainages? Just standing right here where I am, there's like 7 possible travel ways, right? And they're coming all over the place. So the question is, well, how many traps do I put out here? And where do I put them? Where's my micro location? And then the first thing that you'd probably are saying, well, what about like scat and tracks and things like that? Well, as you can see, finding tracks in here is pretty much impossible. Even where the cattle are trailing, that's all just gravel. There's not like any tracks in here that I can find. I'm looking around for scat. Haven't really found any here in this particular location. Here's a little bit of mud, but there's maybe one deer track in there. So kind of what I'm thinking is if I continue to back off farther and farther and farther away, right, you can see this is a pretty well worn path right through there. See that right through there? And then there's the 2-track where it crosses where I'm sitting right now. And then you can see where it starts to get steep up there. So kind of what I'm thinking is if I keep backing up a little bit, and I keep backing up a little bit, there's the path that Athena is going down right now. She's on it. She finds these trails better than I do. So there she goes down the trail. If you can see without the sun being in your way. So if I just keep backing up and I keep backing up and I keep backing up, I think these trails and all these drainages pretty much pinch right about in here. Now this is no end all be all, but if I keep backing up, you can see where the trails are pinching, that drainage, everything's kind of coming together in this like little raised area between the trail and the creek. And then I've got, you know, that over there. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to put a trap right along that edge. So when those coyotes are coming along that edge, right? And then I'm going to put one right here along this trail. And then maybe just on the other side of the creek, if I can find a similar trail or something like that over there. And then I've got 3 sets in here at all where this is all pinched together. And even though I haven't seen a ton of tracks or a ton of scat, these coyotes have got to be traveling through here. I just don't see how they can't. They're not going to just continually go up the side of the mountain, because up in those cedars, there's nothing up there. It's kind of like the middle of a crop field. There's nothing up there. There's nothing grows underneath those cedars. Those things are just nasty. The only thing that goes up there is the deer to basically get out of the wind. But even that, they're not like bedding up in those cedars. They may just go up there for some temporary cover, but they're looking for other places to bed. So really there's no reason for the coyotes to be up there. They've got to be running down here where you got all the taller grass and all the, everything is coming together. So just a matter of where are we going to put these sets.